Hey guys, I am so happy you're here today. I've got the best recipe to share with you. It's fall, it's starting to get a little cold, and I have got butternut squash soup for you today. It is delicious and nutritious. It is right in season, so the flavor is perfect right now. And I will show you what to do with those seeds at the end. Delicious. If you like pumpkin seeds, you will love it when we roast these seeds. They're just a little bit sweeter than pumpkin seeds. I also have a delicious cookie recipe for you. As soon as the cold weather hits, I totally want to start baking. So this is the most delicious chocolate chip oatmeal cookie recipe. Yes, oatmeal. Oatmeal justifies it in my head. Throw some oatmeal in there and it becomes nutritious. You're gonna love these cookies because they are crunchy on the outside and just ooey gooey on the inside. You're gonna love these. These are my family's favorite. As soon as the cold weather hits, I just want all my kids home so that I can bake for them. And this is one of their favorites. So I hope you'll enjoy it too and make it for many fall seasons to come. Can't wait to cook with you. And our ingredients. You need 1 butternut squash. I'm gonna have 2 because I love this soup and I just wanna eat it every meal for the next few days. You need some sort of olive oil. I really am okay with a generic. I love Lidl, so I always buy Lidl brand everything. So you need some brown sugar, just a little bit. Spices are chili powder. If you don't have chili powder, you can use cumin. Nutmeg, just a little bit. You need some sort of chicken broth. This is better than bouillon. This is a base. It's to be kept in the fridge after it's open. It's kind of like you're making your own chicken broth. A little recipe is right on top there, but I just use this. I keep it in the fridge. It lasts me a long time. It is $3 or $4. Every store has it. It's obviously less expensive at the Walmart, but I just love this stuff. The flavor is strong and it lasts forever. So it's always in my fridge. I always have this and the beef base in my fridge. You need some sort of milk or cream. Heavy whipping cream obviously has a lot more fat in it, a few more calories, or you can cut calories with half and half. So this is a sugar-ridden soup, but you're gonna love it. To get this soup started, we're just gonna cut off the ends of our butternut squash, cut it down the center, and clean out all those seeds with a big spoon. Super easy. Okay, so I've got my butternut squash cleaned up, and you can leave the stickers on. It's fine. We're just gonna get it all soft. This is the easiest way to do it. I'm just going to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. Again, the olive oil on vegetables of any kind makes it really sweet when you put it in the oven. It's absolutely delicious. It almost turns it to candy. So I'm just gonna rub that on there, get it all over there. No salt, nothing. We're just gonna pop it in the oven at 400 degrees and bake it until it's nice and soft. Oops, there we go. There we go. It's like a little puzzle. Okay guys, so our butternut squash is all done. It's browned up, it's fork tender, which means like I can just stick a fork in it softly. It's not hard to get my fork in there. So I'm just gonna scrape these out with a spoon, get the skins off them, and get them in the bowl right now, okay? So we're ready to put this soup together. So I've got my butternut squash in the bowl and I am going to now make my chicken base. Remember, I like to use base to make my broth. So I've got 4 ounces of water, and really you're supposed to use 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water, which is 8 ounces, but I am going to use 1 teaspoon to 4 ounces just to make it a little stronger. Remember, that's what I like about this. So I'm going to just ballpark it with my regular tablespoon and mix that up. When it's warm, it tends to mix a little bit easier. So I'm gonna pour that in. It got stuck. So sometimes, honestly, that is so not the way I do it. I usually dump the water in and just plop the stuff in there after it. So I think that's what I should stick to from now on. Just kind of pour my water in, then I put my teaspoon in. Otherwise you get that. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more because that's how I do it. So there we go. All the flavors in now. I'm gonna add 1 cup of cream, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, And this is up to you. You can do 1 tablespoon. You can do none. This just adds a really nice sweetness to it. It brings out the flavor of the butternut squash, which is sweet anyway. It just kind of gives it a warmer sweetness. So then it's 1 tablespoon of chili powder or a 1/2 tablespoon of cumin. Cumin's a little bit stronger. I feel like we could add chili powder all day long and it wouldn't really bring the taste that I wanted to. And I'm just gonna give it just a pinch of nutmeg. It's just a really nice background flavor. So just a little pinch in my hand there. Gosh, I love the way that smells. It just, it brings on just the emotions of fall and the comfort. I love that. Okay, so let's see if I can get this working. This is a hand mixer. It just kind of is a toggle on and off. I love this thing. I do it kind of in little spurts. Mostly because I don't want to get it all over me and all over the place, which I have before, so I know to go easy with it. So just watch this. It's really smooth here. I just want to incorporate all that cream and yumminess. I can smell the nutmeg in there. Just although it was a little bit, it really is a strong spice. So I'm just trying to get it to the consistency I want. The squashes obviously are different sizes and different thicknesses. So really you can start with the measurements I gave you and then you'll just add more to make it as thick as you want. And then obviously when you're reheating it, you're gonna go ahead and add milk if you need to each time, or the chicken broth. The chicken broth really does add a nice depth. Now I'm gonna take these seeds and I'm gonna separate them from the pulp. They are so much sweeter than regular pumpkin seeds. They're tinier and packed with some more brightness than a pumpkin seed. You are gonna love these. So I'm just gonna separate them. I'm gonna cover them in a little bit of olive oil, 1 tablespoonful. I'm gonna salt them and then I'm gonna add a little bit of chili powder just because I want that flavor to carry over. So you can leave that off if you want. I happen to like that. You are gonna absolutely love it. Okay, so our seeds are all done. They are looking good and crunchy. I like that. I like the way they look. They look delicious and they're so sweet. Okay, so I really just love a little pecorino romano or parmesan, but if you know me at all and have followed me at all, you know that is my absolute favorite. Literally, my kids give this to me for Christmas because there is not a Wegmans in Charlotte, but there is one now in Raleigh. So anyway, so a little pecorino romano and a little seed is just so delicious on this yummy soup. Okay, let's talk ingredients, guys. So you are going to need 3/4 cup of sugar and 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And I know generic is usually the way I go, but this Domino was on sale and I bought it instead. So there you go. Sometimes I buy the name brand. You're gonna need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You're gonna need baking soda. You're gonna need your little mixer. And you're gonna need chocolate chips. So let's talk chocolate chips for a second. So this recipe originated with Ghirardelli's Clementine oatmeal chocolate chip cookie recipe, and then I tweaked it a little bit to make it ooey and gooey. So I love these chips. They're my favorite. I buy the generic version all the time, but I will tell you, I think that Ghirardelli definitely has a little bit different flavor, a little bit more decadent and rich. So I splurge on these. This is what I like to use. But in my pantry, you'll see a ton of generic chocolate chips. You also need quick oats, not the old-fashioned. You want quick oats. You need 2 eggs plus 1 egg yolk. You need some salt. And yes, I use sea salt in my cookies because I want the bigger crunch of salt. If you are using regular table salt, then you're gonna decrease the amount. Okay, so quick cookie discussion. So normally when you make cookies, you take the butter and the sugars and you beat them together, which is called creaming. This means that they get light in color, like from a yellow to a white, and a little bit fluffy. So that's the process. Then you add all of the dry ingredients that you have mixed together into your cookie and you make your cookie. So we're doing things a little bit differently. We are going to start with all the dry ingredients and whisk them together so that they're all mixed up and incorporated. We're gonna then cut in the butter with our mixer so that everything's a little bit like sand. The texture's like sand. Tastes delicious, but the texture's like sand. And then we're going to add our liquid, which is the eggs. So this process helps us get a really kind of ooey gooey cookie, a little bit crunchy on the outside and delicious and gooey on the inside. So you'll see it's gonna be delicious, but that order is a little bit different. So make sure you follow along. Okay, right here is where I forget to add the cinnamon and the nutmeg. So go ahead right here in the dry mix, add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and just a pinch of nutmeg. This really warms up the cookie and brings in the fall flavor. This is my favorite part of the cookie. So my cookie dough is ready. I'm going to use a scoop to scoop them out. And I'm not gonna crunch them down in a perfect circle. I want them to kind of be big and blobby. This is a 2-ounce scoop, which is pretty gigantic, but that's gonna make a really yummy cookie. We're gonna freeze it and then pop it in the oven. So you wanna freeze it for overnight, or you can really put these in a baggie and keep them for a month, and just take them out and warm them up as you want in the microwave, or you can bake off 6 at a time, whatever you need. Okay, the genius of this is that our seeds are in the oven. They really only have a couple more minutes left. They're on 400. Our cookies bake at 375. So our oven is already preheated, which is brilliant. We can go ahead and just get them situated on the cookie sheet. I am gonna put a little spray down. You can also use parchment paper, not wax paper, but parchment paper. A layer of that without any spray so that you don't have very much cleanup afterwards. So then my cookies will bake for 12 minutes in the oven at 375. They are going to be fantastic. Now, you know, everybody's oven's a little bit different, so you may want to start checking them at the 9-10 minute mark. Okay, so look, these are so perfect inside. I just love that they're crunchy on the outside and they're just like, oh my gosh, look at that. That is so yum, so yum. So I really hope you love these. I love these, I love these. So good. That's not pretty. Oh no, I knew you were supposed to take little bites, but. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you loved my recipes. I hope you'll try them, and I hope they become part of your recipe box. Please subscribe and like and share.